and stuff. I think it's larger than, I know it's larger than anything we can comprehend.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And, I grew up more so, I feel like learning more about the spiritual side of things than I did the scientific side. So I feel like I learned a lot from the other side of the spectrum, whereas most kids grew up learning just the scientific side. And yes, there's been a huge divide between the two. I was really interested to hear that that was probably the thing that stuck out most to me on when I was like going through what you're all about, because there's been such a divide between those two things. And I've always been on the spiritual side of it. Like I myself was a part of that divide. Like I was, of course I believe in science, but I always felt like science was always out to get me, or like science is out to prove spirituality wrong. And, and vice versa almost. Like they were never on the same side. I love to hear how you just completely bridged that and of course, like there's so many people bridging that today, being able to put words to the spiritual side of things that are honestly so unexplainable. They really need to be friends, these two sides, because now it's really exciting, because now the world can come together, and I think that we can now start to share this knowledge with everybody in a more logical sense, where spirituality is just not just for hippies and science is not just for atheists. Like it's all, we all can kind of have a common understanding. So it's really beautiful the way that you painted this picture. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that recognition. Yeah, it's funny because I came from the opposite side. Like my dad was teaching me about string theory when I was like 7. I remember him teaching me about it, and yeah, like it's just I'm astounded at the um, I'm astounded by it, and it'd be cool. You should look this up. You look up like a lot of quantum physicists and stuff. They end up like they start atheist and they go deep down the quantum physics like rabbit hole of trying to discover what's going on, and they arrive at a place where it's like it makes more sense that God created this than not.
Mm, yeah.
They end up
I,
some sort of a believer a lot of the time.
yeah, totally. I've heard about that. I've learned about that. And I think it's hilarious. It's kind of like, it just makes me think of like Deepak Chopra, who started off as a doctor and in this field that is very not spiritual. And then throughout his career has like turned into this guru of meditation and consciousness and all the things that the Western medicine, or I guess, yeah, like just that medicine system has never been really friends with. But I think that
Yeah.
he's a beautiful bridge to that gap too, to be able to bring those two things together and have, it's almost like some people who need that type of person to explain it to them, like they need to hear it from a doctor, or they need to hear it from a scientist. And that's okay, because some people just need the facts, and I can't relate because I believe in everything. um, but, uh, but yeah, no, it's a really interesting conversation. I think we could get into this for far too long if we get into it too much.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be 5 hours.
uh, it'd be great 5 hours. But so can you tell us more about your programs and what it is that you offer to the world, and your programs and your events? Can you tell us a little bit more about what you offer people? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So obviously, quickly, the 100 days of discipline. It's a 100-day online exercise challenge. We have easy, medium, and rough. It's designed to leave people non-dependent on personal trainers or the gym. After the 100 days, the idea is you don't need us, you want us. And it's a global support community. We've got coaching calls, tons of sponsor prizes. It's freaking amazing. It's $200, $2 a day. We have a guarantee that if you don't like it, we'll refund you your money. So there's no reason not to do it. And it's just phenomenal. Changed my life, changed so many people's lives. 10 out of 10 recommend it. Um, And then with Human Potential Academy, so we have 5 pillars that we teach. And we have our program. Our program is called Courage. And so in Courage, we have this list of over 20 tenets that focus on psychological resilience and goal achievement. Okay. Psychological resilience and goal achievement. Then we have different coaches in the academy that specialize in different arenas. So for example, if someone wanted financial and spiritual, they'd come to me. If they want, say, like mental and financial, it'd be like me or maybe it'd be Selena. If they want emotional and physical, it'd be with Brian. And what's so amazing about the academy is we take in different coaches that want to be coaches within the academy. And I say it's the and model. So like this coach specializes in breath work. This coach specializes in yoga. This coach specializes in just talk therapy. This coach specializes in like spreadsheets and sales. Every single coach teaches their skill plus the courage tenets. And how this program actually ended up coming to be was when I first started being a, air quotes, professional life coach. I just took on my first client. I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to help you, but I definitely will help you. And then in 2 months, results happened. It's like, okay, cool. I got another client. Results happened. I had another client. Results happened. And then I realized that they had different requests, physical pillar for that one, financial pillar for that one, blah, 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 blah. Different age, different culture, different socioeconomic demographics, so different amounts of money that they had. And 80% of the information that I provided them was the same. So I was like, oh, okay. And how Human Potential Academy actually really take off is one of my clients, her name's Elle, she came back to me and she was like, I want to teach this. And she showed me what I taught her. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, okay. And then boom, we started making the course and things just skyrocketed. I started getting lots of clients. They started getting incredible results. And then it was just so clearly like God's plan, because whatever type of individual I could have really used on the team, it's like they get scared the next day. Like, oh, I really want to host events, but I'm not really that confident hosting space. It's like, boom, here comes Brian, 10 years. It's like, oh, I really could use someone that's got a really strong back end organization side. Maybe they've done events. Boom, here comes Selena. Mm-hmm. And it was like, boom, one after another, until we had this like super squadron of people. And this is in the course of like 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so our program focuses on helping people achieve their goals through these psychological resilience practices, plus our goal achievement tools, plus whatever medicine the coach has, which will be corresponded based off of your individual needs. Mm. It works like a charm. And then for our events, so the event section is really cool because we've got all these different coaches with all these different talents. And so, especially in the summertime, Vancouver in summertime, it's amazing for this stuff. But this, like, say this fascia coach and this yoga coach will come together and they'll make expand. It's like Selena and I are we're doing a sales and systems workshop. We're going to do like a sacred smoke workshop, fun, grab different things that different cultures smoke and And so we're making all these different types of events, which are really fun. But we have a 2-week event that we host 3 to 4 times a year. And we have an integration week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, financial, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Mm-hmm. Then we have an in-person intensive. It's 4 hours. We do a lot of breath work, meditation. We dive deep, a lot of dyad work, really build connections. And then the following week, we have integration week. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, of the 5 pillars. And that's been just phenomenal. And then 3 times a week we host, right now they're free community calls. So on Monday we do goal and accountability with anyone who wants to hop on. And then on Thursdays we do shadow work and gratitude. And on Fridays, we have a featured facilitator. And so for our events, it's really ramping up. We're providing so much value with these community calls and these different events.
Wow. Oh, sign me up. Damn.
It actually might work for you if you're in service because we do it at 6 p.m. PST. So it'd be like right now we'd be on them. So I'd love to have you on every Monday, Thursday, Friday. Please.
Oh man.
Welcome.
Oh, 100%. I'm already committed in my mind. I'm taking your course. This is, and you know what? I like I told you about the next level course. I used to get up when I was taking that, I would get up or I would be up from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. for a whole 4 days in a row, because of the time difference. So I'm committed. I don't even care about the time difference.
Love it.
So now it's all about the tour guiding stuff. But anyways, can you tell us about what would the timeline look like? Okay, so you said that it's 3 days a week for that course. And how many months or sorry?
Yeah, so we have community calls, which are totally separate from the course.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Those are free. Anybody can come attend. We're just providing value, creating community, an open container. We do a little bit of breath work. Community calls are separate. For the Courage program, it's 2 calls a week for 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 calls a week for 3 months. We like to bookend our weeks, and we call them nature and nurture calls. So nature is in the beginning, it's typically more like information intensive, more like think of it's more like business, even if you're not coming for business. It's more like, here's info, here's what we're gonna do this week. And then Friday or the nurture call rather is more like did it work? If so, how do you feel? If not, why not? How do you feel? We do breath work, more like intentional stuff. And so we bookend it with the nature nurture calls. It's 2 calls a week for 3 months.
Okay. And then that's also separate from the 5 days of the 5 pillars, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So let me just break it down clearly. So we've got our Courage program, which is where you work with your corresponding coach. 2 calls a week, 3 months. We have our HICA events, which is held 3 or 4 times a year, and it's a 2-week intensive. And then we have our community calls, which are free every single week, Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for breaking that down.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds incredible. And I want to ask you now, what is your vision for both? And I want to ask you 2 different visions if they're different. What's your vision for your life that you see overall in the course of your life, what you want to create in the world for yourself and for the world? And then I also want to know if this is different. What's your vision for the world? And what's your vision for this organization?
As of now, for me, they are very, very intertwined, if not the same. I'm, incredibly passionate about self-development and my own journey. And I really live and love and get lit up when I'm coaching and when I'm facilitating and holding space. Like I love the community calls. I love coaching people. I love helping people. Like I mentioned, the one thing that was like my big owie was that people that I loved were suffering and not taking the advice that I had. I just live for it. I love it so much. The vision that I've got as of right now is a kids' school, which we're already taking steps towards right now. It's looking like we're going to have the opportunity to work with an agency and work with grade 9 and grade 10 students to equip them with psychological resilience, meditation, hopefully how to do taxes, all that stuff. Which is really phenomenal. And that's what's lit me up. Like for a while, for a long while, like I've just known that I want to have a school, like a long while now, almost a decade, long before the spiritual awakenings. And so long-term vision, I see us having one significant almost like university research esque location headquarters.